Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Arbitrary 20. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the new Paladin from 1D&D Playtest 6. So the first change is a pretty simple one, but a pretty big one. I think Lay on Hands is now a bonus action. I think that'll make it a lot more useful in combat.
Oh yeah, they might be like the best in combat healers.
Yeah, just with the bonus action, yeah, and with how much they can do. Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's pretty crazy.
It's 5 per, so a 12th level Paladin can just do a heal spell, or is it a 14th? I don't know, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And the next change is to spell casting. Some similar changes that we've seen for a lot of the other casters. No longer tied to level of spell slots for spell preparation. You change one prepared spell upon finishing a long rest, and like the ranger, it no longer gets cantrips, instead gets weapon mastery. Which, I mean, obviously we'll have to see how weapon mastery shapes up, but I am almost leaning towards that only the warriors should get weapon mastery, maybe. But
I think maybe the best way is to give them specific weapon masteries that only they can take.
Yeah.
That would be the most fun.
Or to limit it for the people who have spell casting or stuff like that. That does kind of screw over the rogue, but
oh well.
Which the rogue is actually really good in this playtest.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I do see your point though. Weapon mastery is
like
good to everyone. Yeah. When it really should make the true marshals shine.
Which, I mean, there's other ways to fix that too, like fixing the other features, but yeah. Anyway, it is cool to see on the Paladin. There's probably some cool stuff you can do with it.
For sure.
And then the next change, and probably the biggest change, is Paladin Smite. Divine Smite is no longer a feature. It's part of this Paladin feature. It gives you the Divine Smite spell as well as 5 other Smite spells, always prepared, and you get to cast one of them for free. So you get 2 at first level and 1 at each level thereafter, and those are all Paladin exclusive now. I think the standout is the same one as the last playtest. It was Glimmering Smite, now it's Shining Smite. Gives you
on
a hit, use a bonus action advantage on all attacks as long as you maintain concentration.
Yeah, it's the best Smite ever.
Yeah.
They changed the whole invisibility thing, right? But that's not really a huge change.
Yeah, I think that was more of just a clarification.
Yeah.
Still pretty much functions the same. What you wanted was infinite advantage for your whole party.
With some damage in there? Yeah, why not? Yeah.
The other ones aren't bad, though. I mean, a lot of people, it seems like, are upset about this because Divine Smite now takes a bonus action. But honestly, Divine Smite kind of just seems like worse option now, and this feature just got a whole lot better, I think. But
yeah, I agree. I mean, I thought it was kind of dumb that most people didn't use any other smites before. It was always Divine Smite, almost.
Well, now there's other options too.
Now some of them it's actual choice, which I think is always best.
And there might be a couple cases where Divine Smite is still the best, and you just want the damage. I think a buff for Divine Smite could be okay, because Divine Smite compared to Thunderous Smite, even the 2nd level, is just like...
True.
Not even close. Like Thunderous Smite every time, honestly.
That's true.
And then once you get to 5th level, Shining Smite every time.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. I think it's cool that it's Paladin level 2. I enjoy this a lot more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be crazy if you could multi-class 2
Paladin,
levels.
Exactly, yeah. I do think this is a good change for sure.
Yeah, so Paladin Smite, really nice overall. Channel Divinity, I think it's the same change as the Cleric got in the multi-classing sidebar. Yeah, so if you have more than one class with Channel Divinity, the uses can only be expended for that class's Channel Divinity, which makes sense. And then they changed the Paladin subclass progression back, which I actually kind of like. The uniform subclass progression is cool, but Paladin getting their subclass unique capstone, I always liked.
Mm-hmm. I'm good with the progression, with how this progression is, in all honesty. It makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, it works better for backwards compatibility, as they say here.
Yeah, it's way less confusing now to try and match it up.
Then Aura of Protection has returned to 6th level. I believe it was 7th in the last playtest, and it is now inactive if you're incapacitated. That was kind of a weird thing in 5e that it still works if you're incapacitated. So I think it's still pretty much the same feature though, which is good because it's one of the best in the game. And then Abjure Foes, they changed it so it now does nothing on a successful save, whereas before it was dazed on a successful save and dazed and frightened on a failed save, which may have been a little strong, but I do like the concept of some kind of ability that still does something on a success. Maybe dazed is a little too strong, but I think it could have been cool if it's maybe a weaker condition on a success.
Yeah, like lose your reaction or something. I don't know. I do, yeah. You're committing a lot to use this, and if it just fails on 4 things or doesn't go through, then it feels really bad. So it is what it is. I still like this feature actually a lot. To be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say this is probably the best channel divinity for a lot of...
It is.
Because it's number, so up to 5 creatures within 60 feet.
And it's just any creature, which is kind of wild to think about, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it is nice that there's no possible friendly fire you get to choose.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty good. And then Aura of Courage has returned to 10th level. It's the one that gives your allies immunity to the Frightened condition while they're in your Aura of Protection. So I think that's back to how it was in 5e. And then Radiant Strikes, which I believe was improved Divine Smite before. Yeah, now works with melee weapons or unarmed strikes. So once again, moving away from the ranged things. They did that with the smites as well. I don't think we mentioned that. But yeah, all the smites are now restricted to melee weapons or unarmed strikes, which I like. I think melee should be stronger than ranged because ranged has so much of a tactical advantage.
Yeah, it was at a point where it's a sad situation where if you can smite on a ranged, you might as well always smite on a ranged.
Why ever for
yeah,
melee?
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's better to have the power in the melee.
And then Restoring Touch has moved to 14th level, which I think is the same, except now it has the dazed condition as well. So when you use Lay on Hands, you can also remove one of the following conditions. Yeah, Blinded, Charmed, Dazed, Deafened, Frightened, Paralyzed, or Stunned. Which, now that Lay on Hands is a bonus action, this feature actually gets indirectly buffed too, which some of those could be pretty big. Removing Paralyzed or Stunned as a bonus action would be nuts.
Which is pretty wild, especially for only 5 hit points too. Mm-hmm. Bonus action, 5 hit points. I guess you're not going to be smiting on your turn, but that's a huge...
That's true, actually.
Huge thing of
you have to choose between those two things now.
But still.
But, I mean,
removing Stunned is just like, or Paralyzed, like, it's always going to be worth it.
And you're probably not going to do that on the first turn, so you probably already applied your Shining Smite or whatever.
Exactly.
And then Divine Conduit has been removed in favor of Aura Expansion, returning to 18th level. So yeah, that's pretty much back to how it was in 5e now. Your Aura expands to 30 feet at 18th level. And then on to the subclasses, I guess. So we'll go to Oath of Devotion first. The Oath spells has been revised since some of the spells are now in the Paladin's Smite feature, and I believe all of the Oath spells features no longer get a free cast, which is again now in the Paladin's Smite feature, which I think is fine. It's still a free cast of a spell either way.
It's one you're more likely to use anyway, to be honest. So,
yeah. At least with Shining Smite being as it is.
Well,
there's some other good ones too.
Smites, but like regardless, you're going to be smiting more often.
Smite of Protection moved to 15th level. In addition, now works with all of your Paladin Smite spells, and it provides half cover to allies in your Aura of Protection. So whenever you cast one of your Paladin Smite spells, you and your allies in your Aura of Protection have half cover until the start of your next turn. It's not bad.
No,
Plus 2 to AC for something you're probably already doing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just an extra bonus little,
Till the start of your next turn. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I think the last change was to Holy Nimbus. Yeah. Now provides advantage on saving throws against fiends and undead. So they buffed it a little bit, moving it from 14th to 20th level.
It might come up.
Yeah, it's not a huge buff.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's a 6th level bump.
Yeah.
And it's the capstone.
Yeah, a capstone against specific things is interesting, but okay.
Yeah, maybe it's saving throws against like a type of effect instead of a type
Magical
of enemy.
Effects,
yeah.
Like I think that would be way more appropriate for a 20th level feature. But you know what? That's okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
2 levels fighter.
Smite of Protection was an alright change.
Yeah, that was an alright
2
change.
levels.
Yeah. You make it to 18th level Paladin, it's fine.
Yeah, no, true. I mean, let's be real here. No one's getting that anyway.
Yeah.
You're still taking one level of Warlock to hit with your charisma.
True, though, yeah.
Because
Everyone's
everybody
a
Hexblade now. Yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah, for real. And then on to Glory, also only had a few changes. Inspiring Smite no longer requires a bonus action, and it now works with all the spells provided by the Paladin's Smite feature. So immediately after you deal damage to a creature with any of your Paladin Smite spells, you can expend one use of your Channel Divinity and distribute temporary hit points to creatures of your choice within 30 feet of yourself, which can include you. The total number of temporary hit points equals 2d8 plus your Paladin level divided among the chosen creatures however you like. There's no limit on how many times you can do it.
Channel Divinity.
It's okay. Expend.
Yeah, it's way worse.
Never mind, yeah.
Yeah, might as well just play a cleric.
Yeah, that's not a lot of temporary hit points for a Channel Divinity, even with it being a free action.
It barely scales too, so like...
Plus your Paladin. Oh, that's true, plus your Paladin.
Well, you're still splitting it amongst people, like...
Yeah, even if you give that to one person at max level, it's like 30. Which is one hit at 20th level, yeah.
I truly think this could just not be split. It'd be very strong, but you have this once or twice a day.
So you're saying like...
You roll
2d8 plus your Paladin level?
To 5 creatures of your choice.
Oh, like your Charisma modifier creatures? I mean, it would definitely be pretty good at that.
It'd be usable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, once you get Abjure foes, you would literally just never use this.
Always.
Yeah. And then Peerless Athlete lasts for an hour instead of 10 minutes. So you're able to give yourself advantage on athletics and acrobatics checks, also at Channel Divinity use. I don't know. I guess maybe in some situations, but that doesn't feel that great.
Yeah. Just, yeah. If you want to be a bodybuilder, I guess.
And then lastly, Aura of Alacrity now enhances Aura of Protection, which results in the feature's range being greater than before. So yeah, still the 10-foot speed increase to you and any ally that starts its turn within 10 feet of you. Does that really make it bigger? What was it before? Oh, they had to start within 5 feet of you before.
Holy crap, okay.
Yeah, that's, I feel like, still one of the worst Aura buffs. Like, well, I mean, yeah, the next one that was one of the best got nerfed as well.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to, but I mean, yeah, you're...
This is still pretty rough subclass, I won't lie. So,
yeah. I don't know about that.
There's better options for sure, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the spell list isn't even that great.
Yeah.
That one definitely needs improvement. Yeah. And then, yeah, speaking of, on to Oath of the Ancients. Nature's Wrath can now restrain multiple creatures of the Paladin's choice within 15 feet of them, rather than one creature within 10 feet. Still Channel Divinity. Each creature of your choice within 15 feet of you must succeed on a strength save or have the restrain condition for a minute. And then they get a repeat save at the end of each of their turns. That is way better than what it is now.
Huge buff. Yeah. Super good buff, in all honesty.
Yeah, I like that one. And, I mean...
It's a budget whip.
Yeah.
Truly, like...
You're probably going to be in melee, so you'll get a decent amount of use out of this, too. So, yeah, I like that change overall. And then Turn the Faithless, the other Channel Divinity option, was replaced by Abjure Foes. And then Aura of Warding now enhances the Paladin's Aura of Protection and provides resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. I believe there's a third damage type there as well. Yeah, necrotic, psychic, and radiant. Yeah, but this used to be resistance to damage from spells, which was insane. Honestly, this was one of the better Paladin subclasses.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah. This is probably more fair, though, I won't lie.
I don't know. I don't think that one was like particularly broken.
It was so good.
It's really good, but like it's still situational enough, I think.
Yeah, and I mean you're always restricted to 10 feet, but still
like there's some campaigns where the old Aura of Warding can be terrible.
Yeah, true.
But
I don't know. I think
we've seen the absolute best of it.
We have,
in my game. But
that's why my opinion is it was disgustingly good. But
this just feels disgustingly bad. Like I I don't know.
It's way more situational, which means it applies way less, and it's more sad in that aspect for sure.
Like, when do enemies deal radiant damage? I mean, necrotic and psychic come up a decent amount, but necrotic especially. But
if you want to fight your other paladins,
mirror match.
Mirror match. You're broken.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that should just be reverted back, but we'll see. And then Undying Sentinel now also heals you. When you're reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can choose to drop to 1 hit point instead, and you regain a number of hit points equal to 3 times your paladin level. And then it's a once per long rest. I mean, not bad. 3 times your paladin level makes you go down in 2 or 3 hits instead of 1, as opposed to just the 1 hit point.
Yeah, I mean, 45 hit points at this level is pretty crazy, actually. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I like that change. And then Elder Champion is now a bonus action instead of an action, and it benefits all your spells, not just paladin spells. You're not going to have much other than paladin spells at 20th level, but okay. You can also regain the use of it by expending a 5th level spell slot. So you could potentially use it twice, I think, instead of once.
Yeah.
So you get enemies in the aura have disadvantage on saving throws against your spells and channel divinity options. You regain 10 hit points at the start of each of your turns, and whenever you cast a spell that has a casting time of an action, you can do a bonus action instead. It's definitely not bad.
I mean, you can't bonus action Smite if you're bonus action other spells, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
And this takes a bonus action too.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the regeneration is honestly kind of nice.
The 10 hit points is nice, yeah.
Well, but, like, I mean, obviously it would suck to use this out of combat. Well, I don't know, honestly. It might be okay. It's just 100 hit point. 90, I guess. Not the turn you use it.
Yeah, 90. Yeah.
Well, for a minute. I think it would be 100. For a minute. So, yeah.
90 or 100.
Either
Yeah,
way,
it's still
yeah.
pretty good, actually. I won't lie. So
And
you do
it's
this twice per
equivalent of
day.
a 5th level spell slot.
Yeah, okay.
For,
the healing itself.
Yeah,
is
the
really
healing
good.
itself is not bad, and then
The other effects I just don't feel like are too relevant, but
I'm just questioning the point of the change to the first option where it's disadvantage on saving throws against all spells instead of just paladin spells. Like, if you're taking this all the way to 20th level, like, the feats like Fey Touch, Magic Initiate, stuff like that can only give you 1st level spells.
well, what?
I don't think it really makes that big of a difference. I guess it is like a slight buff,
Maybe
but
for your oath spells specifically.
that's true. If your oath spells are in a different
I
list,
guess
that's
ice,
true.
Ice
Yeah.
Storm, yeah, but it's really not that many. But I guess it's just a nice little extra.
Yeah, just a quality of life. Most people were probably playing it that way before anyway.
Yeah, I would have.
And then on to the last one, the Oath of Vengeance. Oath spells now has Compelled Duel instead of Hunter's Mark, probably because they made Hunter's Mark a Ranger exclusive.
I cry.
I don't know, I feel like who cares because they nerfed Hunter's
True,
Mark,
true,
but
true,
yeah. Hunter's Mark feels so bad now.
Yeah, it does.
And then Vow of Enmity now lets you move your vow to another creature if the previous creature was reduced to 0 hit points before the duration of the feature ends, and its range is increased.
That's nice.
Yeah, that is
very
really
nice. Infinite advantage.
As long as you're using, you still have to use your bonus action, I think.
No action.
Wait, no, yeah, no action required, yeah.
Infinite advantage.
It's not bad, yeah. And now it's within 30 feet. Was
Yeah.
it shorter than that before?
I thought it was 30 feet
yeah, you
before,
played
too.
it.
I won't lie.
It was 10 feet before. Wow.
I'm sure I remembered that when I played it.
I'm surprised it was 10 feet. What?
I'm sure I played that correctly. I'm positive. Can guarantee it, trust me.
Well, it's fine. You were just using this version. You know? Okay.
It was ahead.
That is a pretty nice buff, though, because I think this could have been a little bit better. Obviously, it was pretty good in like boss fights and stuff like that, but in larger combats, this didn't really feel
Oh,
that
it was
great.
so terrible. You might as well just do something else. But now it's useful. So, I like this change.
And then Relentless Avenger can now reduce the target speed to 0. So I think, yeah, now you pretty much get the Sentinel feat. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, you can reduce the creature speed to 0, and then you can move up to half your speed as part of the same reaction, and that movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. That's kind of insane, honestly.
It's sauce.
You stop them and you move back.
Yeah.
Pick up this with Polar Master.
You are
yeah, that's
running.
nuts, yeah.
You're a track star. Yeah, this subclass makes me happy now. It made me happy before too.
Yeah, this one's definitely in a much better spot.
Mm-hmm.
The Oath of Vengeance, their other channel divinity option, has just been replaced by Abjure Foes. And then lastly, Avenging Angel now uses bonus action instead of an action. Its duration is now 10 minutes instead of an hour, and you can do it again with a 5th level spell slot. So for 10 minutes as a bonus action, you get a fly speed and can hover. And then whenever an enemy starts its turn in the aura, that creature must succeed on a wisdom save or have the frightened condition for a minute, or until it takes any damage. Attack rolls against the frightened creature have advantage. I wish that would just say attack rolls against a frightened creature have advantage, or a creature frightened by you or something.
I will say,
because there's other ways to get that. I don't know.
Even if they succeed, they still have to make it again. It's different than most of the frightened aura features, so.
Actually, no, wisdom saving throw.
It's different than like the dragon style, where once you succeed, you can't be frightened.
Oh yeah, that's
so
true. So every time they start their turn, they have to do it once per round. Yeah,
it's not bad.
I still think this could be better for a capstone, but
yeah,
definitely at least attack rolls against like a creature frightened by you, not just specifically this feature.
Yeah,
I guess they don't have anything else that frightens.
There's feats and stuff though, so yeah. Still, I mean, overall, pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna say again, I'm probably not gonna get that anyway. The other features all seem pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 15th level one is the same, which it's all right. But I mean, 3rd and 7th are much better, so I'd say that's a win.
Oh yeah, overall, yeah.
Looks like that's all there is for the Paladin, and this will probably be our last video on Playtest 6. If you'd like to watch our previous video where we talked about the Druid from Playtest 6, you can check that out right here. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.